It's time to kick off Season 2 at Vasco da Gama, but how has our rebuild gone? Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm G&G and this is Season 2 of Breaking Brazil. We are here at Vasco da Gama and we're kicking off with our first ever Copa Bridgestone Libertadores group tie. We are playing a Peruvian team, Club Deportivo Universidad Cesar Vallejo, and we just call them Club Deportivo from now on for handiness sake. But that's our first ever Copa Libertadores game. The state championship, the Rio State Championship, well on the way. We'll get to that in a moment. But first of all, we'll get to our rebuild. And it was a bit of a hard work over the summer, mainly because despite having at times we had over 40 million in the bank, the board only gave us a transfer budget of 5.24 million. We spent just short of a million of that is left. We've done well in terms of rebuilding the team. We've done it slowly but surely over the transfer window. Still time to get a couple of more players in, but I think we're set for the season, and that's why I came back for this Copa Libertadores tie in the middle of the state championship. A state championship, by the way, I did say I get to it. We've done pretty well in. Our very first game of the season was against a lower league side. We threw away a 2-0 lead there for a 2-2 draw. And apart from that, we won every game apart from a game against Flamengo away where we lost 3-2, and we were pretty awful, to be honest. Weren't in the game at all, even though only 3-2. João Victor scored in injury time, and that got us back looking respectable. But 2 penalties from Gabriel Barbosa and a goal for Everton sealed the points there for them. But we did win the rest of our games, including in our last game away to Fluminense, our other big Serie A rivals in the Rio State Championship. Goals for GB and a player called Victor Hugo, who we'll get to in a moment. So we are actually through to the semi-finals. We're guaranteed, if I put up the stages instead of the preview, we are through to the semi-finals alongside the other 4 Serie A sides. We are well behind Flamengo at the moment, 3 points behind them, with a couple of games left before the semi-final stage. So we'll get to the rebuild now, because we're going to get to the team for this game against Club Deportivo from Peru. And we'll start off with our new goalkeeper. Leo Jardim has moved on, and we have brought in Mateus here, 31-year-old Brazilian goalkeeper. Pretty good all-round goalkeeper. Can we compare him to Leo Jardim? I wonder. No. But what we will do is just look at his history. He's coming in on a free from Tokyo Verdy in Japan, who he joined in 2019. He started off at Corinthians here in Brazil, so we brought him back to Brazilian football. And look at him there. Good goalkeeping, area reach of 16, handling of 16, kicking of 16 and passing of 16. Good all-round goalkeeper. His physicals are a little bit of a worry. He is 31, I suppose, but maybe his strength is a bit of a worry. And his jumper reach of 13. He is 6'3". I think he's a solid goalkeeper, especially coming in on a free, low wage of 5,000 as well, and he will be our goalkeeper for the season. Next up is a new right back. It's Pastor, a Brazilian 25-year-old we've signed actually from the lower divisions of Brazilian football. He comes in for a fee of 675,000, and I think he's a pretty solid right back for us. A bit of room for him to develop. I think solid technicals, solid mentally, very solid mentally, good physicals too, including that acceleration and pace. 5'9" with a jump reach of 9 is a bit of a worry, but we also have João Victor, who was around last season. There is João Victor, who can come in at right back, 6'2", jump reach of 14. If that becomes an issue, he is a solid right back option. Leo, our captain, is back at centre back, but we have a new centre back partnership for him, and it is Victor Hugo, a 33-year-old Brazilian we brought in. We signed him from Bahia here in Brazil for 650,000. He's played a couple of games in the Rio State Championship. I think he's a solid centre back for us. Jump reach of 16 at 6'2" would be very useful at the back. Maybe lacks a little in terms of pace. His mentals are pretty good, pretty solid for this level. I think he's rated as a good Serie A player by our coaches. Tackling is good, his marking is good, his heading is good. So I think he's a good upgrade at centre back for us alongside Leo. And again, João Victor also can play in there, so he has options. And we did bring in another centre back in David Durarte. He has come in as a backup option, really, from Bahia too, strangely enough. He comes in for 80,000, played a couple of Rio State Championship games, and I think he's just a solid backup option at centre back. Again, good jump and reach at 6'4", 17, good strength at 17, mental solid, technical is pretty solid too, and he's just a good option there at centre back. I think that has helped us improve our defence since last season. Lucas Piton will start at left back as he did last season. In midfield too, we have JR still in there. Now, this could be a slightly controversial one because of the rules of the save. I did say I could only sign Brazilians, and Mateus Galarza here will be a starting midfielder for us. He is Paraguayan, but he was here at Vasco da Gama. He was away on loan last season in Argentina. He's come back, so we didn't sign him. He was here. He was already here. His loan deal was agreed when we signed, but he's back and he will be starting for us. I think he's a pretty solid midfielder in that ball-winning role for us. Tackling at 12, marking at 14, work rate at 13, aggression at 16. So hopefully he'll win plenty of the ball back. His strength of 10 is going up, and yeah, I think he's a good solid midfielder. And a Paraguayan in there is pretty important for us. On the wings, I get to the most important signing, I think, of the summer in a moment. Our second most important is this man, Breno Lopez, who has come in on the left. He's basically Dimitri Payet's replacement, as Payet has now turned 37. So, yeah, you're going to see a decline in him. Lopez comes in, signed from Palmeiras for £2 million. Pretty solid left winger. Bit of pace, 13 acceleration, 15 pace. Jump reach of 8 and 5.9. We're not going to expect him to score too many headers, but he does have finishing of 13, composure of 13, good techniques, and yeah, he's a pretty solid player. He can play across that attacking midfield trio. He can play up front too if we need him, and he can play a little bit deeper if needed, but he's not as good in that position. So I think he's a good solid signing for us, Lopez. But this is the big one for us, I think. We have brought Malcolm back to Brazilian football. The former Bordeaux and Barcelona winger has signed for us on a free. This is a free transfer for us. It's one I had to bring in. Even though we have Adson and Rayan who can play on that right wing, I think the chance to sign Malcolm was too good to turn down. And look at that, acceleration of 16, pace of 14, dribbling of 16, his finishing of 14, and composure could be important too. Technique is good, passing is good, off the ball good, flair is good. I think he's a wonderful signing for us. Already down as our key player. And yeah, we're looking good ahead of the season for wingers anyway, because we also have Adson from last season who can play on that right wing or on the left wing. We have Rayan, who is our wonder kid at 18. He was away at the under 20 Copa America there during the summer or the break, and yeah, they can play on that wing. We have other players who can switch in on the wing, so we have plenty of options on the wing. Up front, we might be a little short. We have GB, our youngster from last season, 20-year-old now, who'll be regular starter, and a player we've brought in is Alejandro, who is a 25-year-old striker we have signed from Bragantino. He was on loan at Vitoria. We brought him in from Bragantino for 1.5 million, and he's replacing David, who we couldn't get a deal done. They wanted too much money, more than our transfer budget just for him. And he's a good solid striker, I think. 14 finishing, 12 composure. His physicals are pretty solid there with pace and acceleration. 5'11", jump reach of 12, could be getting a few headers there. His heading is 13, first touch 14. Yeah, I think he's a solid striker. Nothing spectacular in him, but I think he'll get plenty of goals for us this season. As I said though, our options up front might be a little short. We have those two, GB, Alejandro. We also have Eric Marcus on the bench, who played for us last season. Of course, Rayan can play up front. We also have this player here, who is a player who was out on loan last season too. He was on loan with Corriba on loan in Serie B, but it is Figueroa, not quite sure how to say his name, but he can play up front as well. Very important for us. 11 finishing, 12 composure, bit of pace about him too. He can also play on the wings. He can also play right back for some reason, but could be an option there if needed. And yeah, he's a good option for us. And we have another player, MT, of course, who can play up front. So we have options up front, but just maybe lack a bit of quality. In terms of other players who have come into the club, trying to see, Carlos Palacios is a Chilean who, again, I didn't sign him. He was on loan in Chile for the last couple of seasons. He signed for Vasco da Gama in 2022. He is on the bench there. He's an option in those attacking wing positions as well and up front. So we have plenty of options there. It's just maybe not the absolute quality we need. And we have a couple of youngsters who we've called up to the main squad again. One of them is Mateus Ferreira here, a midfielder. He is in decline with his training, but he has good potential. So we're going to give him plenty of playing time this season. Another is Mateus Carvalho, highly rated, 22-year-old. Not fantastic, but definitely a good backup option for us. And finally, we have Lucas Edward, who is another youngster in midfield with potential, and hopefully he can grow with some playing time. So that is basically our squad for the season. We have rebuilt. We have, of our back five, we have 4 new players, a new midfielder, to us anyway, in Galarza. Malcolm and Lopez on the wings are new, a new striker, plenty of new options on the bench. So yeah, we're all set that way. If we look at a couple of the season predictions, the media predicted us to finish 11th. The actual season preview had us to finish 12th until we signed Malcolm, and now we are up to 11th. And then if we look at the Copa Libertadores, you can see the season preview there doesn't show it, but we've no one in the Dream 11, and yeah, it's going to be a tough one. We want to get through our group, and we'll just show you our group. Our group is Group F here. We are in with Nacional from Uruguay. We are against Club Deportivo from Peru in our first game, and then we have a Brazilian opposition in Gremiro. So yeah, it's going to be a tough group to get out. If we can sneak into that top 2 and get out into the knockout stages, I would be pretty happy, and we're going to do that. We're going to have to win our first game here away in Peru. First highlight of the season comes 21 minutes into this tie. It's been very even so far. Both teams have had a couple of shots, but nothing major. And here's Alorando on possession, but he loses it. Here's Malcolm now, back in Brazilian football. What can he do? Malcolm, Alorando, is he fouled? Oh, this looks like a penalty for us early on in this game. Has the new striker won us a penalty? Alorando taken down in the box. VAR is going to have a look at it. Players crowding around the referee. Have we got a penalty? 22 minutes into this game. We have. This could be a massive chance for us to take the lead, and it will be, I'm not sure who the penalty taker is now. It was Payet last season and Leo. It is going to be Lopez for a chance for a big goal. Yes, it's Lopez. Breno Lopez, the new winger, scores his 6th goal of the season. He scored 5 before this in the Rio State Championship, his first in the Copa Libertadores for us, and we're up and running in this competition in our first game, managing in it. A penalty slotted home into the bottom corner. We're 1-0 up. A good chance to build from the back. Here's Galaranza back to Leo. Leo to Pastor, the new right back. Plays it back to Alorando into Malcolm. Malcolm goes backwards to Pastor into Jair. Can we create something? Malcolm trying to make a run, but he can't quite do it. Leo, and it is Galarza back to Leo. Oh, good possession football here. Galarza to GB up front. GB, can the youngster get a goal? Oh, straight at the keeper, who makes a really good save. Galarza in possession to GB. Youngster playing his first ever Copa Libertadores match, as I'm sure lots of these players are actually doing. Here's Galarza in towards GB. Oh, it's cut out. And now are we a little bit open? No, Pastor, brilliant from the new right back, wins it back. GB, he's finished it. Yes, oh, brilliant. Pastor gets an assist. It'll go to VAR. Oh, don't disallow this. It would be an assist for Pastor, a goal for GB, and a really important 2-0 lead. And the goal is awarded. Yes, we go 2-0 up. That's huge for us. We won the ball back here. Pastor really aggressive and running it back. That's what we want to see. And then a lovely pass through to GB. A lovely first time finish. Hits the post, goes in. Half an hour gone here. We're 2-0 up. Tivo in possession here. They go backwards with the pass. And we try and create something, pressure on them. They're passing around nicely. This is what we did in the build up to our second goal. Oh, nearly won it back there. Malcolm gets a tackle in and Pastor's in to intercept it. And he brings it forward. Pastor now looking for support. Picks out GB again, but it's intercepted. And now we need to try and get back into a defensive shape. It's Morales for them, taking on Pastor. But Victor Hugo, the new centre-back, steps up, intercepts that, and we have possession. Leo into Galarza. Galarza on a yellow card as well in that role. May need to take him off in the second half. Here's Mateus in goal, the new keeper. And Victor Hugo for us. Plays it out to Bruno Lopez. Quickly on to GB. Can he seal something here? Can he square to Alorando? Oh, the defender got back, and it took a deflection off Alorando. And it's a goal kick. Corner kick here. 38 minutes gone. Club Deportivo trying to get a goal back before half time. They whip it in towards the centre. Victor Hugo heads it up. Can Leo finish the job? No, he heads it back to the edge of the box. Oh, it's just about fired wide. And we're lucky to still be 2-0 ahead. Half time here, we go in 2-0 up. We have plenty of shots in that. We have an XG of 1.63, 62% possession. We've dominated this game. We deserve to be 2-0 up. Played long by Club Deportivo, but Piton cuts it out. And here is Galarzo onto Lopez. Comes infield with it now. Alorando, play through Malcolm. Oh, he's fired it over. Oh, we need better finishing from him. Tejas with a free kick in our box, and he clips it out to Lucas Piton. He's in a bit of space here. Plays it to Lopez onto GB. Back to Piton, and he will slow it down into Galarza. Back to Victor Hugo. This team getting to know each other. It's probably the first time, because a lot of these players signed during the Rio State Championship at different times, so they all haven't played together as such. So now this is probably their first game, so we're getting to know each other. A bit of cohesion starting to come into the team as Pastor brings it forward. He's been really impressive. Oh, he squares it, but no one reads it. Now Jair wins it back. Alorando, Malcolm, GB. Oh, he slots it wide. Free kick here, Piton clips it into the box for GB. Rayan, who's come off the bench, heads that one over onto the roof of the net. 15 minutes to go. Ball in possession here. We have less than a minute left of injury time. We're going to start the Copa Libertadores with a win here in Peru. A good start for us, but this is probably the game we'd be expected to win against this team. Here's João Victor, back to Rayan. Rayan back to Victor. Here's Jair, plays it through to Rayan. Can he get a third goal for us? He can. It got a massive deflection. It'll go down as an own goal. But what a start to our season here in live action. It is with a 3-0 win away in Peru. And João Victor off the bench to Rayan. He cuts it back to João Victor. Rayan makes the run into the box. Jair picks him out. He takes the shot. It takes a massive deflection off the defender. It's an own goal for sure. And now we wait for the full-time whistle. And there it goes. So we start with a 3-0 win in the Copa Libertadores. We're up and running in South America's premier continental competition. So there we have it, up and running in the Copa Libertadores. We are second in the group behind Grêmio at the moment. That is probably our easiest away game in this group. Everyone has to play each other twice, just like the old Champions League group stage. But yeah, that's probably our easiest away game, done and dusted. We've got to win, up and running. And yeah, the new players looking impressive. As I said, we're already into the semi-finals of the Rio State Championship. We've got to win in the Libertadores. So yeah, a good early start to the season here, our second season. In the next episode, we're going to come back. I think we'll come back for the second leg of the Rio State semi-final. Not sure who we're playing yet. And then we'll mix that in with a Copa Libertadores game. I'm not sure. Probably against Nacional from Uruguay. We'll see in the next episode. But it will be the second leg of the Rio State semi-final and a Copa Libertadores game. And then next episode after that, we will start our Serie A season. If you did enjoy today's episode, please drop a like on the video. Always good to see more likes and that people enjoy them. Don't forget to leave any feedback how you think the summer rebuild or the winter rebuild here in Brazil went. Let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow and helps you catch every video in this Breaking Brazil series. Videos are posted Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Irish time, and subscribing will make sure you get the notification. There is also a place on the channel if you want to catch up on everything that happened in Season 1 here at Vasco da Gama. And until the next episode, please take it easy.